Notorious for their sickening crimes, these 13 predators met their end shortly after being brought to justice in court. Klaus Grabowski. On March 6, 1981, in a German courtroom, Marianne Bachmeier shot and killed Klaus Grabowski, who was on trial for murdering her daughter, Anna. Frustrated with the justice system, Marianne took matters into her own hands, shocking the public with her vigilante act during the trial. Richard Gross. In October 2023, Richard Gross was leaving a courtroom in Los Angeles after getting probation in a case involving a child. As he walked out, 29-year-old Tyler Fu, who was also in court, punched him in the face. Gross fell and was taken to the hospital. Jeffrey Doucet. In 1984, Gary Plauché shot and killed Jeffrey Doucet at Baton Rouge Airport after Doucet kidnapped and harmed his 11-year-old son, Jody. The incident, caught on video, led to a heated debate about taking matters into one's own hands. Plauché was sentenced to 7 years, with 5 years of probation and 300 hours of community service. Daniel Mark. In 1993, Ellie Nesler shot and killed Daniel Mark Driver during his trial in Northern California. Driver was accused of harming her son and other boys. While some saw her as a protective mother, others criticized her actions. Nesler was later found to be under the influence of meth. Larry Nassar. During Larry Nassar's 2018 sentencing, Randall Margraves, a father of 3 victims, couldn't hold back his anger after hearing his daughters share their painful stories. He rushed toward Nassar but was quickly stopped by officers. Later, Margraves apologized, saying his actions came from the overwhelming hurt of hearing what his daughters had endured. Christopher Elwell. In 2017, Christopher Elwell was convicted of a crime involving a young girl. During his court hearing, another inmate, Josiah Davies, attacked him, apparently because of the nature of Elwell's crime. Deputies quickly intervened, and Elwell later sued, claiming the jail failed to protect him. Davies now faces more charges and could serve additional time. Theodore Dyer. In October 2014, Theodore Dyer, serving time for crimes involving a child, was found dead in his cell at the Saginaw Correctional Facility in Michigan. Authorities believe his cellmate was involved in the incident, one of 3 violent events at the facility that month. Gerald Ridsdale. Former priest Gerald Ridsdale, one of Australia's most notorious offenders, passed away in prison on February 18, 2025, at 90. Over 3 decades, he faced multiple convictions for crimes committed against children. The church's handling of his actions led to widespread criticism. Survivors continue to struggle with the lasting impact of his crimes. Richard Huckle. Convicted child sex offender, Richard Huckle was found dead in his prison cell on October 13, 2019. He had been serving a life sentence for crimes against children. Another inmate, Paul Fitzgerald, was later found guilty of killing him. The court heard the attack lasted over an hour. Fitzgerald was sentenced to life in prison. Sean Connery. James Lewis Spencer III is accused of killing Sean Connery Showers, a convicted sex offender, in May 2023. Spencer allegedly posed as a minor online and lured Showers to Monty Beach Park, where he shot him. Spencer, frustrated with how law enforcement handles offenders, is now facing charges. Stephen Patchen. On October 5, 2023, Stephen Paul Patchen was found dead in his cell at the Minnesota Correctional Facility. Kyle J. Kelbel admitted to strangling Patchen after a fight. Kelbel, who was already serving a life sentence, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received an additional 16 1-4 years in prison to be served concurrently. Nicholas Anderson. After pleading guilty to possessing child pornography and failing to register as a sex offender, Nicholas Anderson, 35, was sentenced to prison. In 2017, while incarcerated in Florida, he was killed by fellow inmate Rocky Ali Beeman. Beeman, already serving a life sentence for murder, strangled and stabbed Anderson in their shared cell. Lawrence Hecker. Another Catholic priest, Lawrence Hecker, was convicted for crimes committed against a teenage boy in the 1970s. In December 2024, at 93, he pled guilty to charges including rape and kidnapping. He was sentenced to life in prison but died of natural causes just days later, on December 26.